terror's now your host, Zomboy.
What is going on, you guys? Zomboy here. You're watching another episode of Twisted Terrors. On this episode, we're going to be talking about 2022's Deadstream. This one you can watch on Shudder. IMDb has this one rated as a 6.4 out of 10. Letterboxd has this one rated as a 3.3 out of 5. The tagline for this one is, "He's dying for followers." I'll read the plot. A disgraced internet personality attempts to win back his followers by live streaming one night alone in a haunted house. But when he accidentally pisses off a vengeful spirit, his big comeback event becomes a real-time fight for his life. This movie is directed by Vanessa and Joseph Winters, and also stars Joseph Winters. So let's talk about it. This movie starts off, you're introduced to Sean Ruddy. He's a YouTube personality. He has a YouTube channel that's all based off of stunts. He had been demonetized due to an issue and basically lost his followers. So this movie is the attempt for him to gain his followers back. He said he has done many stunts and faced almost all of his fears, but he has not faced his biggest fear of all.
For 7 years now, you have watched me face my fears for your entertainment, and I'm happy to announce I've faced them all. Not. There is one fear that I haven't yet faced. Something I fear more than cops, more than sharks, more than playing bingo with the elderly. I, Sean Ruddy, am mortally terrified of ghosts.
So he decides to tell everyone he's gonna live stream him in Death Manor, a haunted house. So it cuts straight to Sean Ruddy. He's standing outside the house with all of his GoPro videos and his tablets. And the beginning of this movie is very fun because it's basically you're just following Sean around as he's setting up X cams around the house after he disables his car by throwing the spark plugs into the woods.
Next part is called protecting me from myself. I need to remove any temptation of an easy exit. I know me way too well.
And then also breaks in the front door and then deadbolts it from the inside and chucks the key down a vent in the floor. All of this, he says, to keep himself from leaving because he knows himself, and when he gets scared, he's gonna want to flee. So beginning of this movie, you realize Sean is quite the personality. He's very loud and obnoxious, and he will do anything to get a like or subscribe or to get his followers back. And that's what this movie is about. So he's setting up all the X cams in this house, explaining the story behind the house and how there was a woman named Mildred that hung herself there that's supposed to be the main spirit. And he builds a safe room upstairs, which he says is the only room that's not supposed to have spirit activity. So that is his nerve center. You pretty soon meet a girl named Chrissy.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Sean, I love you so much. I can't believe it's you. I'm obsessed with watching you. I'm Chrissy. You've probably seen like a bazillion comments from me. I'm ChrisCat94.
She shows up in the middle of his stream, basically kind of like a crazy stalker. She said that she knew where he was, so she had to come meet him. So he's telling her she's got to leave, and of course his followers watching the live stream, they're commenting saying they want Chrissy to stay.
They want us to stay.
Chrissy, not trying to be an a-hole or anything, but they don't want us to stay. They want me to stay. The whole premise here is that I'm alone in a haunted house. Seriously? You want her to stay? Okay. All right, I'll make a poll. Should she stay? You seriously want her to stay? It's not gonna be as scary with two people here.
Sean, are we staying?
The engagement is really high with you here. Oh, this is so stupid. All right, let me think about this. Okay, we'll stay.
All while this is happening, Sean has a spinny wheel in his backpack to tell him what to do. So him and Chrissy spin the wheel, and it ends on using a Ouija board and an EVP recorder. So they start doing the Ouija board, and Chrissy says she knows a chant in Latin, basically to calm and set free the trapped ghosts that are in the house that can't pass on. So Sean ends up repeating the words. From this point on, the house comes to life. Right away, they hear this giant bang from upstairs. He is too scared to go look, so he sends Chrissy, but first installs a GoPro on her that he can monitor from his tablet. She disappears upstairs. So he goes up to see what happened to her, and there she is, hiding, trying to scare him. At what point they find some stairs hidden behind a wall, and they find out the house has a basement. And in the basement, they find a trunk with a bunch of belongings to Mildred, including her poem book, which they start reading her poems.
Mildred Pratt. This must be her journal! Are we about to uncover the secret of this house? The dianthus are blooming, the birds are cooing, your visage is in the sunlit canopies. Oh, never mind, these are just poems.
That's so cool. Read another one.
They don't even rhyme.
So Sean is so upset that she scared him. He tells her she needs to leave. He doesn't want her there, that she's just a crazy stalker.
You're not a huge fan. You're a crazy stalker freak. This whole thing has turned into me babysitting a freak. Meanwhile, I got 100% legit demons or ghosts after me. You are officially uninvited. Now I'm gonna go back in the safe room by myself and Google how to exorcise ghost children.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not?
She starts to laugh and bites him in the neck. And she is trying to chew his jugular out when he grabs a piece of wood from the wall and stabs her in the neck, killing her. She's laying on the floor. He's freaking out, telling everyone to call 911 on the live stream as she's bleeding on the floor. He goes into the safe room, collects his belongings, basically tells everyone he's gonna have to cut it short and go get help because he accidentally killed Chrissy, and when he goes back out, her body is gone. There's a really cool scene here where he hears a big thump on the ceiling and he can't see anything. When he looks on his tablet from an X-cam, there is a woman hung by a noose around her neck hanging from the ceiling. But he can't see it with his eye, just on the camera. So that's when he realizes he can see the spirits with the cameras. Some of them he can't see by eye. He ends up starting to get haunted by multiple spirits in this house. He's just trying to survive. The fun thing with this movie is it is a horror movie, it is gory, but they've got a nice mix of comedy in this movie that does hit. So I find the beginning of this movie, I was laughing. The haunted aspect where he's being goofy, he's having fun, and yet it's terrifying. But he finds out he can't get out. He can't get the key to get out the door. So he realizes he's got to jump out the 2-story window to get out. And he does, and hurts his leg pretty bad. Gets to his car and realizes it's got no spark plugs. So he's in the woods looking for spark plugs when he finds one spark plug and a spirit that chases him off, and he runs into a sheriff. And he is telling the sheriff he is so thankful for him finding him, and he's never gonna be mean to cops ever again.
Are you Sean Ruddy?
Yes. Oh, you're my freaking hero, man.
Okay, son.
You're never gonna hear me say another bad thing about the police, I swear.
And you find out pretty quick the cop is a spirit and tries to attack Sean. Sean runs to his car, hides in his car, and creates the beef cam where he can't see out the windows too well, so he gets a GoPro and duct tapes it to a piece of pepperoni stick. It puts it out the window to try to see where the ghost's at. So he calls it his beef cam. He ends up looking through his car for a weapon, and the only thing he can find is his potato cannon. No potatoes, but he finds one of his own bobbleheads. So he ends up shooting the spirit in the chest with his giant potato gun, and the bobblehead ends up going straight through the spirit, causing a giant hole. It's fun. I enjoy the kills in this movie. The gore is good. There's lots of blood. There's always something gross happening. There's always something hitting Sean in the face. All while this is happening, he is asking his viewers for help. If anyone can help, find out what Latin he spoke. And so people are translating, basically tell him that Chrissy tricked him and that he basically gave his soul to Chrissy. And that's what the chant in Latin, he said, was as well. So at one point, he's looking through Mildred's poetry book and finds what he thinks is a spell to take her power. So Sean decides to head back into the house. He grabs a knife, attaches it to a stick as a weapon, and he heads inside carrying some holy water across his weapon to go in to get Mildred. And the end of this movie is just an epic battle between Mildred, which you find out is actually Chrissy, and it was portraying Chrissy to try to get him to say the Latin, because in the past, if you say the Latin, Chrissy owns you and she gets you to kill yourself. And at one point, he's drowning himself in the bathtub, but he overpowers that. And he starts to do the chant to take her power, draws this big hand on the floor, and ends up drawing her in, and it doesn't work. He finishes the chant and she just laughs at him. And so he ends up falling down the stairs, and Chrissy's coming after him, and he realizes he forgot one thing: a sacrifice of flesh. So he ends up saying the spell one more time and then chops his own finger off, and that works, sending Mildred back to hell. But he binds the spirits to him. So at the end of this movie, he's thanking everyone for watching. He's got more views than he's ever had. The numbers on his stream are through the roof. He's so excited. And then he realizes the spirits are after him still. And it ends with him screaming, and that is the end of the movie. I like this movie. It was a lot of fun. I had never heard of this movie. It's a very found footage style movie, and I thought it was good because it's a good mix of horror. There's a lot of jump scares in this movie, a lot of loud noises. The acting is decent, but it just doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's not afraid to have some comedy in it, which I thought was kind of nice. You know, the tough thing with this one is you really don't care for Sean Ruddy. You find out he's kind of a piece of crap right off the bat, and that's why he got demonetized. Halfway through the movie, you find out he does all these stunts, and he attacks cops and then tries to get away, and at one point he paid a homeless guy to fight him, and I think the homeless person either ended up dying or ended up in the hospital because they had a health condition that he didn't know about, and that's how he got demonetized and lost his fans. I will say some of the scenes where they were showing some of his stunts was kind of funny. At one point, he dresses up as a baby and floats down a river in a raft with a binky in his mouth, and you know, they're pretty funny. It reminded me a lot of like a Jackass or some of the stunt YouTube channels they have on YouTube, and that's one thing. You know, his personality really reminded me of some of the personalities I've seen on YouTube. You know, the over the top, a lot of energy. The acting, it was a little overacted here and there, but I think that kind of adds to the charm of this, because I think that really helped the character being, you know, a little too big for his britches. But I will say the comedy hit. The gore was on point. There's a lot of blood in this movie. He's always getting splatted in the face. At one point, the ghost waterboards him with his own urine. You know, it's just little things like that. There's a scene when the two are battling, Mildred and Sean, and she is torturing the heck out of him. But yeah, she ends up waterboarding him with his own R.I.P. But I highly recommend this movie. If you like found footage movies and you don't mind a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, this one it's a lot of fun. The director and his wife, Vanessa and Joseph Winters, this is kind of their debut. The neat thing about it is they wrote it, they directed it, they produced it, and then Joseph also did the score for this movie. The score is a little weird. It really reminds me of like an 80s movie. It has a lot of that 80s synth, which this is not in the 80s, more current, I felt like. So I'm not sure why they chose to go that route, but it was still neat. But it's cool to see what a low budget, doesn't have a huge sets. It's all set in this house. There's just a couple characters, but it really works. It really shows you don't have to have $10 million and 19 huge actors and vehicles and buildings and giant sets. This one reminded me a little bit of like Evil Dead, mainly because it's low budget. They're doing what they can with what they have and what they can afford, and they still do some neat camera angles and things like that. So it just kind of seemed like a fun project that some friends decided to do. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I enjoyed it, so I think you will. And tell me what you think in the comments down below. Have you seen it? What do you think? Did you like it? Not so much? What did you like about it or dislike about it? But this is Zomboy saying thank you for watching another of my videos, and I will see you on the next one. See you later.